But speaking about where teams are going, we want to give our ACC Atlantic predictions today. Again, remember the ACC still has divisions. So I'll start with mine because it's very interesting to see a lot of people are hyped up on the NC State train. So here's what I got. I got Clemson going 7-1. I think they're going to lose probably at Wake. You know, I know Wake lost some, but Sam Hartman, he's wearing Thomas Shelby's hat in the media days. I believe in it. Looks thicker. Then NC State and Wake, I got both going 6-2, which would be a good year for Wake. Now, obviously, this is just conference record. This is an overall record. But I think NC State, Wake Forest goes 6-2. And guys, Louisville to me is kind of a wild card. And we talked about this the other day. If you look, their defense last year absolutely was atrocious in the fourth quarter. Gave up a ton. I think they gave up 45 total points in the third quarter all year and gave up 126 in the fourth. Because remember, Malik Cunningham and those guys on offense were balling. Yeah. They were absolutely balling. Malik got I know they struggled a little bit, towards the end offensively. But again, he has got a ton of upside. I know Tyler Harrell left Bama, but if you look at what they return, if you look at what they have up front, I do not question the offense with Scott Satterfield this year. The defense is what I'm looking at. Remember last year they opened up against Ole Miss, and Ole Miss got like 8,000 yards. They put up a road to glory number. So Louisville, I think, goes 5-3. Then Florida State, look, I just don't believe in them at the quarterback position. I just don't. I look at that schedule. I think you go 3-5. Jeff Hafley, I love him as a coach. I think he's the right guy for Boston College. But Jerkovich is a guy that I was high on. Talk to somebody that knows. Talk to somebody that saw him very recently. Not very high on him, and this person is very powerful when it comes down to scouting players. That's all I'll say. Not as big on Jerkovich as everybody else. You look offensively, they're always going to be fine running the ball. It's throwing the ball. It's Boston College's ability to put the ball in the air, and they lost everybody on the offensive line, I believe, and like 4 NFL guys. And I know they returned a second-team All-ACC guard, but when you lose that, it's tough. I mean, it's tough. You had a top pick, too, at tackle. So I got Boston College going 3-5, and then Syracuse. I think this is the swan song for Dino Babers. Look, I know Sean Tucker is a really, really good running back, but Syracuse, to me, does not have the pieces. That defense is going to get ran through like a finish line. So I got them going 1-7. And to be honest with you, I think I was courteous giving them 1, to be honest.
Interesting. Okay, bring mine up really quick because you have Clemson as well, right?
I do.
The Atlantic is fascinating to me, given Clemson, NC State, and Wake all being in that side division, and really Louisville too. The reason I asked this question earlier to Brandon was because I'm paying attention to Clemson's 34-game home win streak. They're going to have Wake and Notre Dame on the road, but yes. NC State is the one they get at home. Now, NC State beat them last year at NC State. Look, I get it. It's going to be a tough game for NC State to win, but I have NC State ending Clemson's 34-game home win streak at Clemson this year, finishing 7-1. Clemson finishes 7-1, but NC State would have the head-to-head.
So Clemson wouldn't even play in the ACC championship game?
Not in this case. Okay, I have Wake going 6-2. I like Malik Cunningham. I think Louisville will be better on defense. I have them going 5-3. Florida State 4-4. I don't understand. You talked about question marks at the quarterback position. I think there are a lot of question marks all over the field. They're going to have athletes. They always have athletes. I can't wait to watch LSU and Florida State, week 2 for Florida State, week 1 for LSU. There's going to be athletes all over the field, but they just have too many question marks, and they haven't. What did Moscona say? They haven't had a winning regular season since 2016.
Can
you imagine? Right? I mean, I grew up obsessing over the Florida State program. Chris Winkie days, like Peter Warwick days. It was incredible, but I have them going 4-4 in the conference. Let's see if they can at least take some small step forward. Boston College going 3-5, and then Syracuse going 1-7. I really think Syracuse's best chance for a win is Virginia at home.
That's who I had them beating.
Okay.
That's who I had them beating. I will say, if NC State didn't beat Clemson last year, I would feel a lot better about NC State going there and beating them. But Clemson, especially coming off the loss last year and people saying it's a down year, if you look, guys, there's really, you could say, 3 teams that are on quote-unquote revenge tours. Clemson, after going 10-3, Paul Feinbaum said the dynasty's dead, this, that, and the other. Then you got Ohio State, who lost to Michigan. Big deal. Michigan goes to the playoff. They don't. And then you have Alabama, who won the SEC championship, lost in the Natty to Georgia. So you have 3 absolute titans of college football that are on quote-unquote revenge tour.
Well, I certainly wouldn't be surprised if Clemson ends up winning not only the division, but the conference because they recruited so well and they play and the defensive side of the football is phenomenal. And obviously, NC State is going to have a fight on their hands after beating Clemson last year, and this game is on the road. But my thing is, you have to replace both coordinators. You didn't have great quarterback play last year, and returning the same guy really who is going to be the starting quarterback now. If there's an opportunity for NC State to go into Clemson and get a win when you return one of the best quarterbacks in the country in Devin Leary, you return a lot on both sides of the ball. It is this season, because if not now, Clemson's home win streak, I think, is just going to go on for eternity.
Okay, I like that. I mean, I can see that happening. Go ahead and bring mine up. There's a little difference when it comes to Clemson and NC State, I think. I do have Clemson winning the conference at 7-1. I mean, you just look at the defense they had. I mean, Brandon said they're probably going to have the best defense in the nation. I mean, Miles Murphy. I mean, these guys are absolutely disgusting. And then you go to NC State. And the difference with me is NC State returning the most starters in the ACC. That's 17. They lost both their running backs. And the biggest piece to me they lost is their left tackle.
Yeah.
Got drafted.
High.
Right. To beat Clemson on the road against that D-line, and you just lost that guy. Devin Leary's a dog. He's a savage. He can do it. I mean, the kid's nasty, but he's going to have to make huge plays out of the pocket, be almost a Johnny Manziel type if you want to beat these guys. You're not going to have a lot of time in that pocket, so I think that's the difference. That game's going to come down to who wins the conference.
Who do you have Clemson losing to?
Miami.
Really?
I have Clemson losing to
Miami. That one's on the road, too.
Yeah, that is on the road. That is at Miami.
Look, Mario, don't sleep.
No, not at all. But I do think NC State's going to have a great year. I mean, their secondary is phenomenal. They do have some holes. But then we go to Wake Forest. I will never sit here and question Wake Forest offense. I won't do it. It's the scheme is great. They lost their best receiver, but they got guys. I think A.T. Perry. They got guys who are nasty out there, and they also have Sam Hartman, who is a witch at the highest order. And then we go to Louisville, 4-4. This Louisville team is a little bit dangerous to me. I mean, you got one of the, if not the best quarterback in the ACC, and Malik Cunningham. I mean, you lost receivers, some to Bama, but you did get some guys out of the portal.
Yep.
I believe Miami, Central Arkansas. I mean,
the kid out of Central Arkansas is nice.
It's nice.
He's really nice.
And you go back and you do look, as bad as this defense was, it improved last year. The year before that, I believe they're giving up 28 points a game.
Yeah.
I mean, last year they're giving up 23. I mean, you got to look at their tight end, Marshall Ford, all ACC type of guy. They're going to be good, and this is a big year for their head coach.
It's the biggest year.
He is on the hot seat for this team. All right, then we go to Florida State. And this still just puzzles me and amazes me when I sit here and look at Florida State, and I'm like, loss.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
I'm waiting. The defense got better last year, but the reason that defense got better last year are the same guys that are gone now.
Yeah.
All right, the D ends, they were good on the D line. Other than that, I mean, Jordan Travis, like, do you really believe in it? Not an elite thrower. How long can you trick people for? And then you go to Boston College, same thing. You lost everybody up front on offense. You lost everybody. And when you do that, especially a team that they are, because they want to do what?
Pound it.
They want to pound it, play action, boot game. It's going to be tough, 3-5. In Syracuse, I can't remember who it was. Do they play Duke?
They have Virginia at home.
They got Virginia at home. I don't think they play Duke. And Brennan Armstrong, look, we'll release the coastal ones tomorrow. Brennan Armstrong is nasty.
He's incredible.
He is.
The ACC quarterbacks are incredible.
They really are. If you look, that league is deep.
Yes.
At the quarterback position this
now,
year.
you imagine one of those Clemson quarterbacks moving forward, taking the reins, and like really showing what they can do in terms of like being a typical great Clemson quarterback. The ACC is stacked.
I think it's a matter of time before Klubnik gets that job.
You do?
I do.
A matter of time this season?
This season.
Like
again, I'm with
like
Grant.
sort of like how Trevor Lawrence took over in the middle of the season?
Yeah, I just think, I do want to give DJ a little bit of credit here. It's not like Clemson, which is weird to say, had the playmakers they normally did on the outside. And Tony Elliott really had to water it down. I agree with Marcelo on that too, that he kind of had to water down everything schematically. But it looked like it was too fast.
Yeah.
It looked like everything was too fast for DJ. I mean, even the checkdowns were super, super, super either early or late. Like, it just, when I watched him operate, he did not look comfortable at all. And I know you started off with Georgia, okay? I know you played them, and they're just an NFL defense running around there. But like you said, it should have gotten easier the rest of the way. You're not seeing a better defense than that, bud.
Well, the other guys have set the bar so high when Trevor Lawrence just left, and you had Deshaun Watson. He could take a big step forward this year.
He could, and
I don't see it happening, though.
I don't either.
But Hayden's going to start.
Yeah.
Huh?
Klubnik's going to get brought in.
Do you think he'll hop in the portal like in Fansville? Like,
I mean, I don't know.
Auburn.
I just know this.
Probably go to Auburn.
Their defense is good enough they can win a lot of games. But at some point, that offense is going to have to show up. And let's not act like Clemson don't have dogs running around. Dabo can recruit. They got some guys. I know you lost Justin Ross to the NFL, but they always have guys. Will Shipley is a problem.
Shipley
is an absolute problem. And you go through a lot of those games. Everything looked too fast, too complicated. He's always uncomfortable. I know the offensive line wasn't great, and it's great you lost 20 pounds. I don't care if you lost 20 pounds. Can you go through progressions? Can you make the throws? Can you do the
they
things
go
we
to
need
Notre
you to do
Dame
to be
too?
Clemson?
Well,
That's going to be a fun one.
Watching DJ operate at quarterback last year reminded me of when I took the ACT, like the reading part, got that. The math part, not too bad. By the time I got to science, I looked like DJ looking at the defense, halfway dropping back. I didn't know what was what. I just Christmas treated, but ended up making them 24.
You didn't put C for all of them?
No, man, I still believe in that. I didn't want to tank.
C?
I wanted to give it a chance.
Okay.
Really spread it out. Hey, if you like what you heard and you want to hear more, go on over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher. Check out Crane & Company live every day from 2 to 3 Central, where you can hear us spit it straight.